Hello, listeners. This is the Dream Stream of Consciousness podcast. I am Yiskah Koock here with a special guest, Gwyneth Larsen. And Gwynny is a dreamer. She's a dancer and a mover, um, a teacher, and I'll let you give your own bio. I'm never good at giving someone's bio.
No, that's okay. Hi, Jessica. It's so nice to do this with you. It's so fun. Yeah, I'm a theater creator now. I was a professional dancer and stunt woman. I did all those things, and I managed the center at Stone Mountain, which used to be the Center for Symbolic Studies. I'm the director of that. And yeah, and I am a theater creator.
A theater maker. I
Theater.
love that.
Mhm.
And so Gwyneth Larsen's parents, Stephen Larsen, Dr. Stephen Larsen and Dr. Robin Larsen, are two of my most special dream teachers. So, and their daughter is a magical dreamer herself. So we're gonna do your dream today.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's an honor to be here. It's fun to do this with you.
So please share it, and if you can say it in the present tense. I am walking through a door instead of I was.
Okay,
So we
I'm
can live into
actually
it as a story.
okay. I'm not actually in this dream.
Oh, I love it. Let's hear it.
Um, okay, so this is from October 3rd. It was a couple days ago, a week ago. And um, so there was a girl and a boy, and they were on an adventure. They are from two worlds. One world is our world as we know it. The boy is from our world, and the girl is from another world in which everyone is born with a special secret. Um,
Special what?
a secret,
Secret.
a secret. And that secret, it's different for each person, but they have a special bond with um, some living thing. Could be an animal, could be another person, could be a plant, could maybe even be a stone. I think if you believe stones are alive, it was a question in the dream. And um, so it kind of I think reminded me a little bit of like the Golden Compass. Okay, so this boy and this girl are in the girls' world where everyone has this secret.
Say that one more time.
So the boy and the girl are in the girls' world,
Yes,
where everyone has this special secret.
yes.
And there's a problem. There's a strange mist that's covering her world that is making people forget their secret.
Oh
And when
my.
they forget their secret, they get really sad. Um, and but she hasn't forgotten her secret, and she's like very bold. This girl is like very like confident and vivacious, and the boy has this. I think maybe if I was anyone in the dream, I am maybe the boy, but I'm not totally sure because I'm seeing it from the outside. But the boy really admires that about the girl, and then he's trying to help her like save her world. And so they're where I come into the story, they're running from the mist is covering the whole world, and there's a pool. They're in this like sort of basementy warehousey area, but there's a pool, and they know they have to collect this like sort of like luminous green liquid. And um they're trying to figure it out, and the boy sees a yellow gas can, and they get the liquid into the gas can, and then they know that there's something they need to get from the bottom of the pool, but the mist is coming and it's sort of rushing them. And they can't swim down into the pool. Um they keep trying, but they can't go down. And so then the boy fills the puts the liquid in the can, and then he ties a rope around the can, and he jumps with it into the pool, and it pulls him down to the bottom. The girl sees this and comes down to the bottom with him, and there's now the mist has come and it's set up on top of the pool so they can't escape, but they're in this pool. And they see these two coins in the bottom of the pool, like in the surface there, and they get them out, kind of looking around, and they see like mailbox slots, boxes on the wall of the pool, and
Ah.
they swim up to it, and the boy puts a little coin into the slot, and it kind of like pops out, and then he presses on it and it opens up, and inside there's a little scroll, and he pulls out the scroll and he looks at it, and he realizes that this is his secret. And so then he's like, oh my gosh, I have a secret. And he's like sort of filled up with this secret, this special knowledge. And, but he realizes, if this is my secret and I have one, I'm not from this world. Or maybe I am from this world and I went to the other world. Or maybe we had secrets in the other world and we lost them. And that's where I woke up.
Oh, wow, Gwyneth, that's an amazing story.
I have these like adventure dreams every now and then, and I haven't had one in a while, or
Love
any.
it.
I haven't remembered any of my dreams in a while, but I remembered that one. I was like, I was excited to remember it.
Yeah, well, it's a big dream, as Carl Jung would maybe call it. Or, I mean, I guess it depends on how it feels for yourself, how much import the dream may have. So, do you remember how you felt when you woke up from the dream?
I felt excited to. I wanted to know what was going to happen next, and I was excited to have had the dream. I
Oh,
felt like
love that.
I was like, oh, I had a dream. I was like, all like that kind
I
of like
know that excitement.
giddy, like, oh, I had one. Oh, yay! Like, and I didn't. I told it to my daughter Uma and her friend, and they oh no, and Julia was there. I came downstairs and I wrote it down, and then that when Uma and her friend came back, I told them the dream, and they were like, "That was a dream," and they were like, "We want to hear the rest," and I was like, "I know, me too."
That's wonderful. I know, me too. I mean, they're under the water, the mist can't
Yeah,
get them. Yeah,
yeah.
I want to know more. So, but
They're
so let's do like what Robert Moss would call a reality check. So let's go through it. What is from um your like wakeful life? So it starts, you're not even sure you're there. So you're watching
Mhm.
a boy and a girl. He's from another world and she's from this world.
Well, she's from the world they're on, and he's from the world, our world as we know it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have that all turned around. And so do either of them remind you of anybody?
Well, I think that her sort of boldness and confidence kind of reminds me of the main character of this um, book that I've been reading, the Maeve Chronicles. She's very like confident and bold and sort of full of magic and herself. And I think that I felt like, oh, like I felt a little bit like that when I was little. And then as I got
Yes.
older, you sort of lose that magic, right? Like, so I think
Yes.
maybe she felt like my younger self, and maybe he's like, as I slipped into him, I was like, oh, maybe he's my current self.
Oh,
But
that's
I also have a
interesting.
daughter. I'm surrounded by little kids all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I love it. And I think bravery is such a good trait, especially in a child. Is there a sense that the secret that everybody has is about the magic in the world? It feels to me,
Yeah, yeah, very much. But also, I should say, I think that also he kind of makes me think of Billy, like my partner, my husband, um, in that like Billy is like so full of creativity and magic, but kind of like doesn't think so highly of himself or of his creativity, um, even though he's like solving problems left and right,
yes,
and like so he solves the problem with this like very functional gas can, and I think there's
yes,
a little bit of that
the
as
yellow gas can and
yeah.
the green mist.
Well, the green liquid, it was sort of like a luminous, sort of like a
Oh,
slightly
right.
radioactive liquid. The mist
Oh,
was sort of just gray and like
so
deep.
now I thought that they put the mist into the gas can.
They put the liquid, the luminous liquid that they knew that they needed to destroy the mist or to solve the
Oh,
problem of the girl's world, where they knew they needed that. They've been given
okay.
some sort of clues, but they didn't. I'm also reading Harry Potter to my
This is
daughter.
what we call could be day residue.
Yeah, I get a lot of. It's probably a mix of day residue. Yeah, yeah,
I think everybody's dreams have elements of everything from the prophetic to the mundane,
right,
from the book I'm reading, from the movie I saw.
right, right.
Yeah. So now, what would you name this dream?
Um, well, if I was just being very descriptive, I would be like the boy and the girl from two worlds, or like
Boy
the
and
world
girl
of
from two
secrets.
worlds.
Yeah, the boy and girl from two
That's,
worlds, or the world of secrets. If it's about her world,
oh,
maybe it's about the world of maybe it's the world of secrets. It's secret.
Boy and
Maybe
girl from two worlds is a tale as old as time.
hey, it's a little mundane, but I think the world of secrets. If I was getting a little
Yeah,
more
I
creative,
love that. I love it. It
secrets.
makes me delighted to discover, really, I think, I think, right, when we're born, we are given a secret of where
Yeah.
we just came from. What is heaven? What is God? And I could see, yes, people are sad who forget that.
Do you know the myth? I think it's like the Archangel Michael who says, "Shh, don't tell what you know," right
Yeah,
before you come through to this
yeah.
world. And that's what this line is.
Hmm.
But there's supposed to be one child every how 1,000 years or something where he says, "Tell only what you know to those who you can trust." Or I can't remember the whole thing, but
Hmm.
and that person can remember. They're allowed to remember
Yeah.
that one person.
Ooh, they remember their secret. But the
Yeah.
girl is remembering her secret.
Yeah, she knows her secret, but she's in
She's
danger of losing it.
so magical already.
Yeah.
Um, what does that color green remind you of? The liquid.
It was kind of a radioactive green, but it was a magical liquid that they needed. But I think maybe it's kind of like oh, things are not always as they appear.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like it looks radioactive and horrible, but they need it. But maybe they should dig a little further into knowing if they need it.
Yes.
Like
Sure. Yeah, we're not that sure if we needed it. Well,
yeah.
and so it's so interesting then to me that the kids go into the water. So the boy goes first. Can you tell that part again?
Yeah, so the boy, they're trying to get into the water to get out of the because the mist is coming and like descending, and they can't get in. They go and they can't get in. They can't
Oh.
descend into the bottom. They know they need something in the bottom of the pool. I'm also watching this TV show where it's a modern take on the Greek myths, and they have to the souls when they die and they go into the underworld, they go into the river Styx, and there's two souls who can't descend. So I think this is also residue, but
I love it.
it's a lovely image that they go into the water, but they can't get down, and everybody else they want to go down and like transition to their next life or whatever, but these two they can't get down, and um, so
Transition to their next life. That's how you're seeing this.
well that's what it is in the show I'm
Oh,
watching.
you're not talking about the dream now. You're
Yeah,
talking.
that's what, yeah,
I
but
no,
and I
I
read
don't want to hear about the show because it's just gonna
it's called
swirl
chaos.
me up like cotton candy.
I
Um,
know.
so yeah, I mean that's well, your stepfather said it best is a dream is a personal myth and a myth
Yeah,
is a public dream.
yeah. My
Joseph
godfather, yeah,
Campbell.
not my stepfather, but yeah. Um, uh, yeah. So in that part of the dream, they find the liquid, but they have to put it in something. So the boy decides he sees this yellow gas can, so he puts it in the yellow gas can. And then he's like, this is heavy. How are we going to escape
Oh,
with this? How are we going to run away from the mist with this heavy gas can? And so then he's like, oh, it's heavy. Maybe it'll take me down. And he just, on an instinct, on a whim,
oh,
sort of throws the can and himself into the pool.
okay.
I I think later in my imagination I added a rope. I think in
Yeah.
the dream he actually
Right,
just
we're this, we're trying to make sense of
right, right. He just threw himself
it
through the
must have been so heavy that it pulled him down
yeah, exactly. And then he was down there and he could see her looking up. So that was when I started to become the boy. And I
oh,
looked up and I could see her. And then I think she threw the rope. That's right. She had a rope and she threw it and it came down and I grabbed it and I tied it.
oh, and that's how she got
And
down.
then she was able to pull her way down. That's right.
Oh, wow. That's just amazing to me. It really turns things on their head,
Yeah,
what
trying
up
to
is
get down.
down.
Yeah.
No, and I'll say that Gwyneth is an aerial dancer. I might be saying it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And has a studio called The Fifth Wall, being the ceiling,
Yeah.
because they walk on
Fifth
the
studio.
ceiling. Yeah, so that's so cool about it. I really like that about it. It has me all turned around in my imagination. So, where was this pool of water? Is that an area that you're familiar with?
No, it was like it was like very industrial feeling. It was like a
Okay.
warehouse and they had gone down into a basement and they were like trying to get away from the mist and the mist
Yes.
like permeating everything. And I think
Was the mist just like, was there a color?
no, it was just kind of gray, misty gray. I think I thought I even had a moment in the dream. I think I might have been sort of starting to wake up where I was like, huh, this is a very uninspiring location for this magical pool. Like
Nah, nothing there that I can work with.
it's like sort of gray old basement, like where but like big. So it was like
That's
warehouse.
so interesting. I love that, when we work with dreams, people who look at their dreams, we're already doing the dream work as we're waking up because we're, first of all, trying to make sense of it or just trying to remember it or,
Right.
looking at it. And at least that's my process.
Yeah.
Often in dreams, oh, I better write this down. I'm writing down my dream still within the dream.
Yeah, totally. No,
And then
me
I wake
too.
up
I
and
was
I'm like,
waking up like I gotta write this down. I don't
I
want to
wake, I,
forget.
I wake up like, but I wrote it down and now I don't remember
Oh
it.
my gosh, I've done that too.
Yeah, that's a cool way to look at a dream. This very gestalt way of like you are every character in your dream, both
Yeah,
animate and inanimate.
yeah,
Um, Makes me want to call back up my child self who was so magical, who had so much magic in her
yeah,
and knew the secret.
yeah,
The mist hadn't gotten to her yet.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
this realm of forgetfulness, you know.
Yeah,
So it's
we drown
oh
out our
yes,
child we drown out our child voice with all the like
yes,
uh the child wisdom with all the like busyness and the doing the things we have to do in our careers and
absolutely,
our responsibilities drown out our child voice. I guess that's
absolutely. When responsibilities fall into your life, it's like, oh,
yeah,
I guess I have to take care of this. I'm the adult in the
yeah,
room.
yeah,
Yeah. So, but I'm interested in the coins.
yeah.
Let's talk about that. So that's why the boy wanted to go in there, or there was a dual reason because the mist was coming.
The mist was coming, but they knew they had to get to the bottom of the pool because something was there for them.
Okay.
They knew there was something there for them. That's all they knew.
It did they think it was the coins?
They didn't know, but when they saw they were in the bottom of the pool, if you've ever been on the bottom of the pool, you're kind of looking around, there's not
Sure.
much there. But then they saw these two coins and they were kind of pressed into the bottom. It was like the pool had been made with them in it, but they
Oh,
were loose. And so they were like, well, that's odd. And then they were able to pull them out or sort of like, yeah, like kind of just pick them
were
up.
they like the size of a quarter or bigger, like a half dollar,
Maybe
dollar?
a quarter. They were like quarter size. They were kind of nondescript. The coins were
Uh, it's so interesting.
blurry underwater.
Yeah, right, right. So, and then you woke up.
Well, then there was the post office boxes on the wall,
Post office boxes. That's right.
and they were kind of, oh, that's right. I just remembered that I'm working on a show right now, and I'm realizing that we have a post office box in the barn. It was like the dream was being like, hey, you need this prop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get to work.
um, and I forgot. I
Oh,
forgot
I love that.
until just now when I remembered.
Dream coming to remind you.
Yeah, so it was like built into the side of the pool, and like who gets their mail underwater? Like I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was like that old sort of coppery, lots of squares, like, and then, but instead of a key slot, there was just like a coin slot, and so the boy put the coin in,
Oh,
and then the door like popped open like just a little bit, and then he like pressed on it. You know how there's some of those doors you like press on them and they go blink, they kind of like pop open,
popped open.
and then inside was this little, it's like a little tray like this, and then there was a scroll of paper, and they're underwater, but it was okay. Somehow it was okay, and there was this little sort of scroll of paper. It was like about this big, like this high, and it was rough edges, and it was old. And he kind of unscrolled it, and he was like, he realized as he was reading it, this is my secret. Like it like filled him up as he read it.
That was his secret that he had forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh, how much do I love that?
Yeah.
That your secret is there for you. You know,
Yeah.
it's waiting for you.
Yeah, that your secret's waiting for you. Yeah. It's waiting for you.
And the little girl never forgot her secret.
She hadn't forgotten it yet. Yeah, but she was afraid she was going to with them there.
She was younger than the little boy, or about the same age.
They were the same age. They were like
Oh,
friends.
did you say?
I think like 10. I mean, my daughter's 10. I
Yeah.
think they were like around her age, like old enough to be like adventuring on their own, and but young enough to still be children.
Yes. So that's just a spectacular dream. It reminds me too, because you are so creative and you're involved in all these different projects, and you do, we were saying the aerial dancing, but also working with lights and creating all sorts of magical scenes. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm thinking also like, I wonder how this will fit in with your projects, with the creative projects. It seems like, and I love that it reminded you about making the mailbox.
Yeah, because we want to have the audience and the show we're working on have, there's an object thing. There's a thing with objects, and we haven't quite figured out what it is yet. We're
Yes,
experimenting, trying this and that, but uh yeah, I think the mailbox is important.
I love that. So that makes me think, if it's my dream, that makes me think, because that is an important reminder that I wasn't remembering for this project. If I'm the dreamer, then I think there might be other elements. And I'll be interested to see. I feel like this dream is very visual, a visual dream. I feel like
Very.
I'm seeing it with, even if it was my dream, I'm seeing it with even like a pastel color background. Like it seems very fantasy-ish to me, fairyland-ish. Yeah,
Hmm.
I
That's
think it's really so cool. It reminds me too, in the Bible, it's the opposite though. Well, not really, because you're saying, well, it might be the opposite. They say the sons of God, of gods, and the daughters of man
hmm.
uh co-created, created people. And a lot of people think, well, does that mean the aliens, or like people from a different dimension? Who are the sons of gods coming from the sky? Like, and so that's just interesting. It made me think of that just because I didn't know who was from which world.
Yeah, and this one, we're in her world, but our world is
Is
his
here.
world. Yeah, our everyday world. I just saw this thing. I thought I sent it to you, but I don't know if I did. They were basically, there was a ancient sort of cave drawings of, there's a sort of human like figure with wings that come
Oh,
out, and there's sort of like these sort of like very stylized. It's sort of like a stick, and then it's like line, line, line,
yeah.
line. very like if you see it, you're like, oh, that, right? I've seen that before. But one of them was from Japan from about 2,000 years ago. No, 5,000 years ago. One of them was from the sort of South American, Central American region from about 10,000 years ago. And one of them was from Turkey
They were
from
all similar
from
cave
maybe
drawings.
17,000 years ago. And they look like drawn by the same artist,
That's just
the same style, very, very
exceptional.
specific stylization. So it's so interesting that they're spread across in the little thing I was reading, they were talking about how like these things are like spread across the world from areas that we didn't really think had contact with each other.
Yes,
Although they're basically like it's making historians and anthropologists rethink how the ancient world was connected, and the fact that they're over such like tens of thousands of years.
millennia,
Yeah, it's like 17,000, 10,000,
17,000.
5,000. It's very, this is a lot of
Yeah,
time. And
that's
the same
extraordinary.
figures appearing in these different parts of the world. It's very
That
interesting.
really makes one think.
Indeed.
Panagia, that's always that was so obvious to me even as a child. Looking
Yeah.
at a map and they all fit together.
Yeah.
Even as a child, it's like, yeah, you realize that the continents were all together at one time. I almost feel like it took, but I guess this is how it always is. The scientific world they had to figure it out how,
Yeah. Yeah. You see these things and it looks very obvious, but then, you know, science,
science
scientific
needs to
brains have
find
to
a way to
really pick it
prove it.
apart and prove it. And I appreciate that.
I
That's,
appreciate that. Some people need that.
yeah.
And I say that in jest because I said that recently on a podcast. I mean, I guess I need it too, but not really, because I've known since I was however old I was when I first saw a
Right.
world map.
Right.
So, yeah, that's extraordinary. So from two different worlds. So what are your thoughts on different worlds? I mean, what does that mean to you? Is a world like a planet?
These were two different planets. Yeah. I mean, different perspectives, I guess, different views, right? If you're from a
Oh yeah.
different place, you have a different
That
view.
that reminds me of that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Right. Right. That's good.
Um, excuse me a minute. Hello, I'm making a podcast. Oh, Billy, come on in, Billy. Billy's
It's
back.
true.
All right,
Yeah.
well, thank you everyone for listening. I would love to work on that even more.
Cool. Yeah,
I
let's do
mean, I
it.
see you all the time. Let's work on
Yeah,
that more.
let's do it. I
Because I
love
feel
it.
like we didn't get to the nougat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
There's
true.
still like a juicy center to
Yeah.
the stream.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Okay, Gwenny.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Well,
Jessica.
thank you, listeners. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you soon. Holomode Metukin. Thank you.